Creativity here. So I just want to apologize to you guys. I didn't know backtrack history on my hair besides the different curl patterns. So today we're going to talk about how I went from the most outrageous hair journey from heat damage and color damage and just simply me being annoying damage. So we're going to jump into that today, and you guys get to see the good, the bad, and the whatever you want to call it, because honestly I look at some of these pictures like, wow, what was I thinking? But before we get started, could you guys do me a huge favor and push that subscribe button at the bottom of the video, because I think that once you see this video and see everything that I went through, you will have complete faith in your hair, and you know patience is really key. But I think you're going to want to tune into the rest of my videos, because I am going to tell you guys the 100% truth of everything that happened to this. So I want to apologize to my mom because I gave her mad heartburn from day one of me coming out. Do not judge my ears, but then from ages 1 to 6, it just started getting crazy. Like each year it was growing more. But then my hair took a left because I did not like to get my hair done. You see that little patch right in the front of my braids? That's for me actually pulling on a ponytail too hard to get a bally out, and I actually ripped the front of my hair out. And when I tell you guys I just didn't care, look at this. Like, I did not care how I was outside. I was just roughing it and thugging it like it is what it is. I'm not gonna lie, low-key started like getting to me the way my hair looked and like the comments people used to make. So I'm like, all right, 5th grade, we gonna get it together. We gonna look great. So I went to my neighbor. But the way that I achieved this look was getting a perm. And boy, did that perm make me take an entire left turn. But luckily, you guys, what saved me from the perm was the fact that I started going to a hairstylist. So it didn't completely ruin me. She really started saving my hair. I started learning a lot more about how to take care of my hair, and I actually started making progress of growing it back. Around 7th grade was when I got introduced to the hat and scarf sets. I did not know that material could really damage your hair because of how hard and brittle that it was. So now I'm wearing this little bun at graduation. I decided to start and do something with red hair. And it's so funny because my mom only let me do temporary dye at first. Guess who went behind her back and decided to do bleach and permanent dye? But I let my friend do it on me. So now here we are with my hair just shrinking itself away, because I would dye it and then a new growth would come in, and then I'll dye it again, and then it was just wow. No, I was not moisturizing it for nothing. It got so bad. But I actually let my hair be for a while. Like, I let the hair dye grow out throughout 10th grade. It actually ended up becoming this brownish blonde color. But really, I want you guys to not get mad at me, because guess who went and dyed their hair again? But that mixture of colors low-key went bad because my hair started turning this like pinkish purple color, and I'm like, oh my god, like, wait, what did I do? So I actually had to let it grow out. And then ironically, as we got to my birthday, when I left it alone, my hair actually grew a lot by my birthday. This is November of 2014. So all of this hair is actually mine. Like, I really let it grow and I let it be. I decided to go through this entire summer wearing protective styles because the weather that year ended up going crazy. So braids and twists was the best thing that I could have done. I took them braids out. The length was here. Like, I got back there so quick, and it was just a matter of actually oiling my hair and taking care of it and literally keeping my own hands out of it. It started doing so well. But even though your hair can grow within a flat iron, honestly, it's really not the best way, because I started seeing how damaged my ends were and just like the overall texture of my hair. It wasn't full anymore. It was actually very stringy. So I'm like, you know what? We're gonna cut it. But I cut it and then I cut it, and I just kept cutting because it was that bad. So I actually had a friend who was natural, and after seeing her do it, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll give this a try. My first braid out, oh, it was a hot mess. I don't even know why my friends in school even told me that it looked okay, because it did not. And I tried again, and it actually ended up started turning out right. But this was around a time where I had to wear rollers on my ends because my ends could not lock up on their own to actually stay twisted up. And I was praying that nobody noticed, because my hair started getting shorter around this time as well, because I really didn't even know what I was doing being natural. So now I'm losing even more hair because I'm not taking care of it the way it's supposed to be. But prom came around and I just had this entire look set up in my head, and I'm like, girl, you need brown hair. You need brownish blonde hair. This is the only way this look is gonna get pulled off. So guess who dyed their hair again? But at the same time, from me trimming my hair on my own and then trying to go natural, and it was just conflicting because I really did not know what I was doing, she had to cut my hair a lot in a style that I wanted, I could not achieve. So my prom pictures are actually with clip-ins in, and it's the same thing for graduation. What It was so funny because some people actually still believed it was my hair because the state it was before, but people that was really my friends, you could tell that was not me. But after graduation and going through the summer, I decided I wanted an entire new look for college. So I actually cut my hair down to bob length. Not me, my hairstylist cut my hair down to a bob length style. So I just took it as the natural style wasn't for me. I started learning about a wand curler. I'm like, you know what? I like this look better. Don't laugh at me. I low-key look like a wannabe Becky. But this is what I thought was cute. And it's so funny because my hair was actually growing at this time. So I'm like, you know what? We're going to rock with this for a while. But here we are again in track season. And I was traveling a lot. And also, I was introduced to the Bay Area weather where it rained and would be foggy every single day. Guess who decided to get weave like an actual sew-in? This was just not a thing for me. I mean, it was cute, but it was not a smart choice. But I can't say it wasn't a complete smart choice, because my hair being tucked away for that many months of the spring semester actually allowed it to grow a little bit. But I was so sick of how much damage I'd done to the leave out part that I decided, you know what? We're gonna go natural. You're gonna stick to it. The entire summer is gonna be your look. This is what you're gonna do. So I made a pact to myself, and it actually did turn out okay. Things was kind of rough at first because I had these really tiny ponytails and I was still going through the phase of having to put rollers on my ends, but I found out that braids was working out better for me. So I'm like, okay, let me do the braids and then put the rollers on my ends. But yes, I did dye my hair again, but I just wanted to go back to black. I didn't want to do anything extra to it. I'm like, we're gonna go back to black, but I also learned how to properly moisturize my hair at this time, so no damage was done. So after being natural through the summer and a few protective stylings here and there, I decided to actually do the same thing through the fall semester of my sophomore year of college. And it actually was going pretty okay. Like between 4 to 5 months of actually keeping out of my hair within the braids and the locks, and then also doing my regular twist and braid outs, it turned out okay when it was time for me to do a length check. I found out about my 3B side and how much different it was from the rest of my curls, and it was actually becoming a hard process to make sure my hair was staying leveled. Now, because I didn't know too much about curl patterns at the time, I actually cut this entire side of my 3B section. I thought it was still dead, though most of it actually was, but it became very hard to learn how to control my hairstyles because these curls wasn't the same as the rest of my head. So I had to wear ponytails and high buns for maybe about 3 to 4 months, just so nobody could actually tell that this entire chunk of my hair was actually going past like maybe my eyebrow. It really worked out for the best, because at the same time that I decided to cut that part of my hair was another time that I started finding out about better products and better routines, and I was actually transforming my hair on its own. No more rollers, no more extra help, no more trying to manipulate it. It was actually just curling and twisting on its own. And I'm like, yes. All of that happened in January to end of May. So when June came around, I did a limp check, and you guys, my hair was so freaking full again. I was so excited. So now I started playing around a little bit. We're actually trying to do styles on my own without any extra help from the rulers and the flexi rods and everything else. I was actually doing it, and it was like, okay. It's like after I would wash my hair, or when it was just regular water, the curls were coming through, and it was just a matter of actually sticking to the routines, sticking to the products, and keeping my hands out of my hair in terms of this flat on. Once I started realizing how much better natural was for me, I started trying out protective stylings between mini twists, and then I started going into braids again, just to make sure like I was giving myself a break so I wouldn't get tired of doing my hair. And my puff was getting bigger, my afro was getting bigger, and then I decided to do a limp check again, but this was actually after the summertime. Yeah, I got around to my birthday again, and here we go with the limp check. And the pictures that I'm showing you are all from 2018 fall, and it's just like, wow, I never thought my hair would actually get to this state, knowing who I used to be beforehand and how much that I've learned now about it. You couldn't tell me 3 years ago that this was going to be my hair today. And if you don't believe me, this is literally the proof right here of actually sticking to your routines and your products. Because when I tell you, these ends could not lock up on their own. It was so freaking bad. And now I'm just so excited because it's like your curls look healthy, your hair look healthy. Even with hair dye, everything looks healthy. And it's so funny because a lot of people really cannot do that. But it's always a matter of how you're handling it after the fact. But I'm so excited and so proud of myself to see how far I come along, and it's only going to go up from here. Well, I'm praying that it's only going to go up from here, but I'm really excited because this was something that used to really be a struggle for me, and now I really just want to help anyone else that went through the same kind of history that I did between heat damage and color damage. You guys, it's really, I'm not even going to say it's not that hard, because it actually is. But once you get the hang of it and actually start worrying about what other people are saying, because the transitioning process is not easy at all. It's so awkward because some of your hair is healthy and some of it isn't. But once you really get the hang of trying to maintain a routine that's constant and actually progressing in the right direction, it's going to turn out good. So if you like everything that you've seen today, hit the subscribe button at the bottom of this video and stay tuned for the rest of my videos.